Don't trip.
I'm going to get TMI on you here.
Hey, I'm not tripping
All right.
whatsoever.
All right. Yeah, a couple minutes late. Had to tend to the business. Is that Tennessee baseball?
It is a Tennessee baseball jersey, man. I'm repping my Vols, although they got kicked out of the SEC championship. I mean, the SEC tournament. So you know me, I'm a loyalist. I'm a rep them no matter what, DK. So no more conference tournament for us. So we'll get ready for NCAAs. How you feel about that?
You got to stick with them through thick and thin, Moan. You know
you do. Just
and
like
they're going to be in NCAAs.
Yeah, no doubt. That's all that matters. The College World Series is the only thing that matters. You know what matters to everybody else today? It's whether or not if I hit this bell.
How hard?
Let me see. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll.
Wow. That was with authority, Moan.
It was, man. Well, I got called out the other day for it being weak. I think I smashed it too hard and it made a thud sound, DK. We don't do those types of things, man. You feel me?
Oh, my goodness. Hey, listen, everybody, if you are new around here, or even if you've just been kind of hanging around quietly in the background or browsing at the uncle table or so forth, you can become a member of the Ramon Foster Show by visiting this simple web address that I've made for you. It used to be this long. It used to run off the edge of the screen. And now it's just dkps.net/join, because you can't copy and paste off of here, but you can remember that, dkps.net/join to become a member. You get all kinds of fun emojis, you get deals and discounts, and we're not going to lie here, you get preference. When it comes to
well, you didn't want to say it on top, but that is very true, DK. I see somebody pointed out, yes, I did get a haircut. Wednesdays is my haircut. They actually took some off the top today. I evened it out.
Jared comes in as a new member. Welcome, Jared. Bert comes in as a new member. We welcome Bert, and we also welcome Less of Moan.
Yes, you do. I want to bring up something, man. It's very fascinating, man. Is this, DK, this time of the year is such a trash talker's dream.
What do you mean?
Man, so you know, of course, I have my day job here while I talk sports, and I run into a bunch of people around Nashville. Nashville is just a melting pot of so many different cities. People visit here. You visit here. It's a good time here.
Many times.
And I run into people that recognize me more often now.
Mm-hmm.
The offseason, they always want to talk sports. Everybody that I've talked to feels so good about their teams right now, DK.
It's funny how that works, huh?
They feel so good about their teams. I ran into a Baltimore fan the other day. Yes, today, actually. And I was asking questions like, how you guys feeling? Man, we got our squad. We got receivers. Lamar is this. I was talking trash to some Cowboys fans recently. They was, hey, we'll beat you guys. We'll do this. I'm like, man, I love this time of the year because this is where hope, this is where optimism, this is where the Browns win their 18th offseason championship. You know what I'm saying, DK? Like, we're at that portion of the year where you just feel good.
You know, I'm thinking a lot, Moan, here about when you say this, there's two things that happen in football. The season ends.
Yes.
Okay, which is the end of the world. And then after the season ends, you start seeing bad things happen to your team. There's subtractions. There's concern. There's a coach that you wanted to have fired who didn't get fired. Not that happened here.
Not that it happened here.
And then what ends up happening is free agency opens, and you get like one or two players, and then there's hope. Because those things that you thought were hopeless holes are now, they're kind of okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then comes the draft. And the draft is the best of all because we can convince ourselves that every sixth rounder is Tom Brady and Antonio Brown.
Yep.
We can convince ourselves that every undrafted free agent is Ramon Foster.
Yep.
We can do that. It's not true.
No.
But hope is what sells. It's what sells among fandom. It's all about hope.
It is. And the NFL does such a great job at that, DK, that it should be shameful. your team does. Oh man, the season's over. We lose this guy. There's a little controversy here. You know what? Here's Ireland for you for a new market. Okay, here's your schedule release, man. But it's just that though, and I think it's the reality of us getting past the draft and the mystique of these young players and all those types of things. Because this is why I'm always hesitant to kind of predict wins and losses. I saw somebody yesterday kind of bringing it up. Can you guys, think how many wins we're going to get? And we did the first 10. I can see us going because it's a bye in between it, 6-3. Heck, if we break even at 5-4 or not break even, but it's that time of the year to where everybody's mostly healthy or getting back into the fold. And
Chandler Chase is calling you out. I'm sorry. We have to interrupt this program. Chandler Chase is calling you out.
That's fair. Chandler goes, "Hey, Moan, I got to do it low because I let you down. Guess what day it is? Hump Day." It's a tradition like none other, DK.
Everybody wants to talk about Marcus Golden, who's been signed presumptively to be the Steelers' number 3 edge rusher. We'll see how that goes. He's not going to be unchallenged.
No.
We'll tell you this. At OTAs, I have heard – that's the operative term here because there's not that much to see when it comes to these types of positions right now. You see it with wide receivers. You know what I mean? You see it with passes. You're not going to see line play. Okay?
No.
See front.
You shouldn't.
7 play, right? You better not.
You better not. You get fined for that.
But I have heard good things, like really good things about Nick Herbig. The Steelers are not dismissing the possibility that he could be that guy. Okay, so let's keep this all in perspective here. Just because you get Marcus Golden doesn't mean he's the guy. Just because you get Herbig doesn't mean he's the guy. This to me sounds like, Moan, a classic case of you guys figure it out.
Yeah, no doubt about it, DK. But that's also where I was going also with this Marcus Golden signing. That's another guy that your name familiar with. That's what that is. A guy that, honestly, I got to be real with him, had three double-digit sack years. 2 years ago, he had a double-digit sack year again. He's been up and down as far as his career stats go. Like, he's held the line very well. And then he'll sprinkle in one of those, 12 and a half sacks seasons, a 10 sack season, 11 sack season. And you kind of think to yourself a little bit like, hey, maybe we can get those things out of him. But I told you yesterday, DK, Nick Herbig, to me, I think is going to be counted on a little bit more than we give him credit for, but that's sight unseen, DK.
Yeah, I think you're going to look at this, and if you just saw some of the comments that have been streaming through here, there's a general view that Golden still got it as long as you don't put him out there for 70 snaps and ask him to drop.
Well, that's exactly what was going on, I feel like, in Arizona for the most part. Like, they were a bad team. Let's just call it what it was. You had a Hall of Famer on it, J.J. Watt, but, like, let's be honest about that, though. Like, that was a bad team, and guys were stat chasing and honestly just trying to survive. Either the offense was out there not long enough or the defense couldn't stop people when it came down to those types of teams. So much so that their old head coach ended up taking a sabbatical somewhere, DK in Thailand somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. But the signing, in general, I like it. You get more veteran presence. You get a guy that's been around the league for a little while, had some real good cups of coffee at the places that he's been. And this is what I'm hoping to be the same thing we get out of Pat Peterson, if I can just say that, and Landon Roberts too. Get to some guys that understand the culture, that have a knack for playing physical, that you also, and Pittsburgh has always been good at this, DK, almost so much so that it's shameful. Can I say it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Pittsburgh has always found a way
to
get more for cheap.
Yep, and that's what – look, if you end up doing this, Randy here points out, that Marcus Golden's tape. Well, yeah, I mean,
it's a highlight.
This is a guy who's a really good player too. I mean, this is a guy, but he's also 32. Okay, so you've got to find a way to manage it. Heck, just yesterday on this program, Ramon and I were talking about why edge rushers get spelled and why offensive linemen, according to Ramon, can never be rotated.
We went to school yesterday.
I learned my lesson.
I'm glad you learned a little bit.
but in the case of the edge rushers, they need to be spelled. So what you're going to be asking of Marcus Golden, or for that matter, Nick Herbig, is say, listen, you're going to have 20, 25 snaps when you go out there We need you to leave every single fiber of your being on the field with every snap. Okay? Yeah. That's it. Okay? And if you have that mindset, isn't it different, Moan?
Yeah, it is. And this is the thing, too. I honestly do think that was going to be a Bud Dupree role. I don't think Bud was going to come in and be expected to take Alex Highsmith's spot.
No.
Okay, right? And I think that's the same thing for anybody behind TJ and also Alex is, look, we need you guys to not have a drop-off. We don't need the team cranking up the lawnmower when TJ or Alex go out of the game. They need to know they still need the bushwhacker to knock down this defense. And last year we didn't get that. TJ out, what happens, DK? Teams decide they want to. Yeah.
Everything falls apart.
Everything goes apart. I think what we're looking at this year, man, is a team that really did a self-check. You know how sometimes, like, the truth hurts, right, DK?
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is necessary to operate more efficiently. I like that word right there, efficient, from my guy, Ben Cohen, okay? This team needs to operate more efficiently. It's one thing to not have the known superstars or guys that can be budding superstars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, DK?
That's right.
If you don't have either one of those people, that James Harrison, that Von Miller, that Ben Roethlisberger type on staff like that, like I know Cam is an all-pro, but like when you mention Von, it makes you quiver a little bit, right? When you used to mention James Harrison,
sometimes it's just the name.
It makes you quiver a little bit. So if you don't have all of those dudes, right? And Cam does make offensive linemen quiver, right?
No
I'm going to give him that. I'm going to give him that. But you need more of those dudes. And if you don't have a whole lot of those dudes, TJ's another one of those dudes, and Minka too, when we need a real good supporting cast.
Marble G now comes at me. He says, hey, DK, when are we going to get this picture of you next to the 6'3" Corey Trice? I'm not sure I believe you're actually 6'2". You know what's funny?
They're high shaming you.
People come into our downtown store here, and the first thing they'll say is, oh, you're taller than I thought. And I'm thinking, what concept did you have? I'm sitting here I'm either in a YouTube box or I'm on a podcast, in which case, so how do I not sound tall? I don't get that. Moan, you got to come to bat for me.
DK, even Antoine, one of our favorites, even said, you 6'2"? Really? Really?
Yeah, like what does that mean?
I'm hating on you, DK.
You're a sports
Shout
writer?
out to Moses, man. I see you out here becoming a member on a cool Tuesday, on a cool, my bad, hump day. I gotta do it now.
When we come back, we're gonna be dealing with we're gonna be dealing with the reality that I actually am 6'2", a little bit over that, to be honest with you. If I was at the scouting combine, they'd give me one of those really infinitesimal fractions.
6'2" and 5/8.
I don't think it's 5/8, but it's there's a fraction in there of some
3/4. I was 5/8. There's 5/8 out there. I was 6'5" and 5/8.
You're still not going to bat for me. I stand next to you.
Maybe I just want a little violence, DK.
What are you doing here?
Hey, y'all, I'm here to tell you, he might not be 6'3". Okay? Might not be.
All right, I see where this is going.
It's
going in the direction of the only segment that matters, because this one most assuredly did not matter.
It's all a hey moan, baby.
At DK Pittsburgh Sports, we take pride in coverage that connects our city's fans to their favorite teams. Now, that connection's stronger than ever. Introducing our all-new state-of-the-art app. Find expert inside reporting and original podcasts. Check live box scores. Track the latest stats. Chat it up with our community of thousands of fans, all in one place. The new app from DK Pittsburgh Sports. Coverage that connects.
I got what was the name of George Costanza's dad in his Seinfeld? The one that said, I got a lot of problems with you people.
Man, I never really
Jerry
watched
Stiller. Jerry Stiller. That's who was it did it. I think that was his name.
Yeah.
The actor's name. It just passed recently. I got a lot of problems with you people. That's me today. First of all, Uncle Matt comes in and says, where exactly is the store? You haven't been here yet, my man? Yeah, man. This is our shop here. We're right downtown on 5th Avenue, 224 Fifth Avenue. Come down and see us. Fasted58 says, I look 5'8" on camera. Again, what does that even mean? Like,
Hey.
am I like this?
Yeah, you need a stepping stool to take pictures with me, DK.
Yeah,
That's
right?
what that is. Somebody called me out right here. I'm Pittsburgh fan 412, my own plan to the crowd. Hey, listen to me. One thing I'm never going to do is stop a good time. Okay? If we can egg on DK and say he's a small man, we're going to do that, okay? We're going to do that.
Irving says the Lakers could use you. Is that an NBA team? Is that what that is? The Lakers? You're talking NBA to somebody in Pittsburgh? Come on.
A swept one at that. For you Lakers fans, I know you are in here, man. How are y'all feeling about that? I hate to see that go down like that.
You know,
Joker is the truth.
Well, that's the one area on which we can agree because the best basketball player in the world is a Serb.
It's from where, DK?
He's from Serbia. And by the way, when I was there last summer to see family, I'm born and raised in Pittsburgh, but I went back. I am actually this short.
No, he's not. Look at this camera. By the way,
there's an entire building in the capital city, Belgrade. It's where the entire side of the building is just covered with a big poster of Nikola Jokic.
Yeah,
because he does belong to Serbia. Like he's on loan to Denver.
Yeah,
and everything else, but yeah, that's an amazing sight. But no, if you're asking me about what happened in the playoffs last night, I'm going to talk about Dallas and Vegas.
Yeah, somebody did ask that question. Will there ever be an NBA team in Pittsburgh? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Doubt it.
Katie says, DK, my boyfriend and I met you this hockey season. We felt the same. The man is tall. You know?
You're tricking people out here, DK. You're tricking people out here, man. And I'm guessing the only way, what does it say? To know it's to stop into his store. Fair.
Yeah, come on down. We're here. We're happy.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at what we got here from the Hey Moan stuff. Marcus Golden, Hodge, who, by the way, has been distributing gifts today. Like a madman, and thanks for that. Certainly on behalf of the people who've gotten those gifts from you. He wants to know, Marcus Golden, is he an upgrade over last year's edge backups? Edge backups.
That's a fair question to ask, simply because who do you remember from last year? And we really can't call out anybody until we see exactly what it was going to be. Who was it? Malik Reed last year was an outside rusher for this team. Who else was on that list, DK? A couple of special team guys?
No, it was just bad.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and be blunt about it.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I'm going to climb up on this ladder to do the rest of the show, okay? What's going to happen? People are going to come on live, and they're going to go, what the heck? These people not know how to do their cameras?
Not realizing that you playing a gag on them, DK. What do you have this rushing group, man?
Almost everyone is better than Malik Reed. Okay, Malik Reed was a complete non-factor for the Steelers. I have no idea how he got the sacks that he did in Denver. Maybe sometimes you just run into them, or maybe just in Pittsburgh, he was nowhere near as effective as he was out there. But man, this is definitely a change.
And I would also say this too. When you look at how this team has really been set up, like guys, I feel like are more flexible with this group too. Like Landon Roberts is a real good rusher too. I just want to throw that out there. He's a very solid rusher himself.
Boy, that's a good point. One of the things that we forget in Pittsburgh, and not without cause, is that your inside linebackers are allowed to get to the quarterback. Okay, nobody's done that here since Vinny. Okay, Vinny was a constant threat to get back there. Between Miles Jack, Devin Bush, and whoever the heck else, nobody was doing it.
Yeah, nobody. And what's wild about it, and I'll even back him up on this, and you up on this too. Before the ACL with Devin Bush, rushing was really good with him. It really was, DK. Like his elusiveness was there. I'm not sure if he's going to get it back. He should, because the ACL is not what it used to be in a sense. Okay, I just need to throw that out there. If you train it and rehab it correctly. But I will say this. He did have that ability to rush the quarterback good. Vinny was violent when it, though. It was totally different.
Yeah, Dmitry Marjanovic, whose name I just pronounced correctly.
Yeah, you did.
Points out also correctly that DK is Serbian, and over here 6'2" is a little under average. He's right. It's a very tall part of the world. Well, now it's a country that was part of the former Yugoslavia, Montenegro, that's just to the south and west of Serbia, where everyone is like a tree. They're just the tallest people in Europe. The Serbs are very tall. When I walk around Belgrade, I am just a guy.
Yeah.
Here I'm tall.
Yeah.
Jay wants to know if I played sports. Played 1,000 deck hockey games, my man.
What's deck hockey?
What do you mean? What is deck hockey? Really, you don't know?
No, I don't know what deck hockey is.
It's street hockey, but in an actual rink with a real live surface. You use shoes. You use a no bounce ball.
Oh,
yeah. Oh my God! I feel like I spent half of my childhood at a deck hockey rink.
Never even heard of a no bounce ball, DK. You're exposing me to so many different things. What the heck?
We got all kinds of stuff going on today. Well, let's see what Irv has. It says, hey, Moan, do you wish that Lev Bell had stayed? And did you feel a type of way when he left? Oh, Ramon felt a type of way.
I did.
Right.
And we've hashed that out before on here too, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was my thing with it. It's like I knew we had a good thing. But, of course, business get into the way of the actual game sometimes. I wasn't at the greatest whenever that all went down because the conversation was one way to us, and it ended up turning public when he didn't show up. Like it wasn't, he was supposed to show up. Now it's a conversation that have to be had. We've seen each other a couple times since that, and then we didn't ask those type of questions. Just know this: we're both good. He's good. We communicate with each other on social media and everything like that too. But just looking at how it should have been, could have been in Pittsburgh with him, gosh, that would have been a great. I say he had at least 3 more years left in him in Pittsburgh.
Behind you, he did.
Behind us, he did.
When he went somewhere else, he didn't because they had no idea what the heck he was doing. And you guys, it took you a while, and then you figured it out.
It took us a few months, year. We had a smart enough offensive line coach also that taught us how to block for him. And however it went for him, yes, he got the bag. But you look at everything that happened from that, he could have been a bigger legend. It's just what I'll say.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Could have kept running up the totals, not just on the ground, but also don't forget Lev was he was good for 75, 80 yards in the air every game.
And the game that the NFL is doing now, that Kansas City is doing, we were same pace as that.
Just like that.
Same pace as that. And he was a huge part of that because he can line up in that slot and then come to the backfield and get us 7 yards.
And no one knew what was coming. Sergio Perez says, hey, Moan, I understand that competition makes you better, but does having so many heavyweights competing for jobs, competing hard, does that mean more injuries or maybe go into the season somewhat banged up?
No, because you got a smart coach and smart coaches on that staff too. It's going to be moments in which you go that hard, but it'll be within a close proximity too. Like, that's one thing about it. It won't be one of those, hey, everybody's lining somebody up to knock them off. Like, you're going to get 1 or 2 reps, and then those 1 or 2 reps, they need to be very quality. I think they may actually work a little bit smarter this year, knowing that it is these heavyweight battles. Hey, we're not going to waste your time you going up against him. We need 3 reps from y'all right now, good on good, and we'll settle it in film study. That's the way it goes in these type of situations. It can look like, yeah, big, strong guys got to be overly physical. No. And this is the other portion of this too, DK. I know we talked about this a little bit with Dotson and Moore. Like, some guys will rise and some guys will just crumble. So whenever it comes down to you sifting that out, that's just a part of you having this much talent inside of the building in general.
Ryan Smith asks a good question. It's a good one to share because we get it from other people as well. He says, if I joined DK Pittsburgh Sports, do my login credentials work for this show? Steelers fan from San Antonio, Texas. First off,
Brian.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Secondly, no. They're totally different systems. We couldn't link them if we wanted to. YouTube is YouTube, and that's why we made the conscious decision to move the Ramon Foster show 100% to YouTube, because that was what our viewers told us loud and clear.
Yeah, they did.
They were using, and I mean, it wasn't close.
And Ron, and then my day job here in Nashville, we go through the same thing. The companies like to separate everything. It's just like YouTube and Prime trying to stream games together. It's like, no, we want you over here exclusively. That's what we're up against right now.
Boy, I really like this question here from Ryan Lytle, Moan. He says, hey, Moan, would you extend Alex Highsmith before the season starts?
A second-round guy, nah, he going to have to show me. I would think so, because if he's good.
Entering a walk year,
because they got the tag. If he's that good going into it, they can always place the tag on him. Him getting paid going into the season. Give me the tag.
Here's the thing.
His situation's so unique. Go ahead, DK.
It is. Here's my thing. Art Rooney himself has come out and said that they hope to sign Alex Highsmith. When that happens, that player gets signed. I mean, almost without exception. Okay. Yep. So put that off into the corner here. Omar Khan has said it publicly. Okay. What you have is a situation where it's going to happen. So anything that we're debating here is separate from that. My feeling is I want to see Highsmith prove himself independent of TJ. Please show us that you can do something when TJ's out.
That's why. And I think he's deserving of a contract. I can say that too, with also saying, show me one more time. DK, to your point, just to play devil's advocate on this.
Go ahead.
Maybe that's why it works too. It's because TJ's out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, a guy works well with another guy, and both guys need to be together. You know what I'm saying? But I'm with you. It shouldn't fall off when TJ's not out there. Yeah, that is a problem.
See, Carl says I'd extend him now, but it'd probably a little cheaper. It'd probably be a little cheaper. Yeah, it probably would. But here's the thing, he's
such a sticky situation.
It is, because we don't know what money we're talking about. We can say, you sign him to some long-term deal here, but what kind of money are you talking about here? He is not a star player in this league. And if that gets me all kinds of, down, whatever, he's just not. You can look at the sack total, and it is exactly what it is. But as an overall football player, he's not someone who should be up in that kind of stratosphere.
So he's edge is what you call him, DK?
I think he's a very good player. I am not saying he stinks or anything else. This is a very good football player. I'd like to see him get paid as a very good football player.
I've got it pulled up right now. Edge got Leonard Williams. Geez, $32 million is his cap hit, and for TJ it's 29. I'm gonna go to Bosa. It's $17 million.
But Bosa's an impact play. Bosa doesn't have to wait for somebody else to be healthy to be effective.
Yes, 100% DK. I'm just looking at what the averages are of a guy like this is what we're looking. So TJ's at the top at $28 million a year. So where do you put him? Harold Landry, who plays for the Titans, is about $17.5 million a year. Okay, is he above Eric Armstead at 17? What are you willing to pay him? Or Trey Hendrickson at 15? Carl Lawson with the Jets is at $15 million a year. Where is he in this conversation is what are you willing to pay him? Because it's going to be double-digit $1 million. It's a matter of, yes, what are you getting from him if you give him that? Is he this good moving forward still?
Here's a point that James makes. He says, but Bud developed late too.
That's very true.
But Bud was different, extraordinarily different. They have nothing in common other than the position they played. Bud needed to be tamed down, okay? Bud would overshoot the quarterback by a mile because he was this creature that was going in through your backfield, destroying you.
Yeah.
Alex is not that. Alex actually needs more of that. He needs to be a bigger disruptor. He needs to be more of a factor on the plays in which he does not record a sack. Bud was the exact opposite.
He was. And Bud had a whole lot of value, and teams knew what to expect from that too. So where do we put him? He's probably from what? Yeah, right there. 12 to 14, maybe $15 million a year.
I could see doing that. Okay. That's okay. Now I can get on the same page with a long-term contract. It's just, I hear that and I see the Steelers' verbiage as it relates to this, and it makes me think of the contracts that were signed by Cam and Troy, and like, no,
Yeah.
No, he's not that guy here. 412 says 15 million. That might be where I top out.
And here we go right here, of course. We got Ash that also says this. TJ played 5 games last year. He had 14 and a half sacks. You're 100% correct. So it's been shown.
But a lot of them were in those games.
That number is all that matters. By the way, I'll be one of the first one to tell you sacks very much overrated too. Not because offensive linemen give them up, but if it's 2 minutes left and it's garbage time, you get 2 sacks in that time. Are you as a business owner going to say, hey, we're not going to count those 2? Or is it what's the weight of those?
I am a big believer in this, and I think that there are players who have found their way into the Hall of Fame based on sack numbers who shouldn't have.
But they matter.
I am not going to mention a name here because it recently passed, and it'll sound disrespectful and whatever else here. Dave reminds that it's time for the 3 chefs.
Man, you must be starving right now, DK.
Dave is all over this. As a matter of fact, Moan, at the Get-Go Cafe and Market, quality is at the core of every menu item. 3 expert chefs fine-tune every detail so that every sub, burger, salad, wrap, drink, and app is crafted for what they call craveability. Order your favorite entry today at the Get-Go Cafe and Market. Better believe it.
Yeah, I got one right here, DK. I saw that one too, and I got one right after you. Lester Holmes, who's at the uncle table, says what, DK?
He says, let's be fair, it wasn't like Highsmith was getting any help from Malik Reed last season. That is a very fair thing to bring up. Of course, teams focused on Highsmith once Watt was out. That's a great point.
Great point. Yep. And I'm not saying don't pay him. I'm just saying, where do you pay him? If they don't choose to, they do have that option, right? And I think Allen and Maryland has this. Aren't you glad we have history like this, DK? We can just reference tandems like that. Alex is to TJ as Ryan Clark was to Troy.
I would say that's about right. But again, so was Bud, but just in a very, very different context. You know, they definitely feed off each other. And if the Steelers can have a couple of those, they can have a couple of those, meaning with Golden now in the fold, have somebody else who can be a disruptor, who can get to that backfield, who can put that scare that you're talking about.
What this team is looking for, and I saw, I think Coach Tomlin, I think you posted, like, this is a ready now team. They're trying to be foolproof in a lot of different ways, man. And you got to kind of commend them because it's funny. I listened to somebody else's team today talk sport, and guess what word they use, DK? Guess what phrase they use? It's like, we got a standard around here. You're like, there's a standard that we use. And I was just like, wait a minute. Nice. So the standard is the standard in Pittsburgh, but that's exactly what it is. I know Coach Tomlin feels and understands, like, the standard must be met at all times.
John asks why no one's talking about Keanu Benton at OTAs. I can't say this enough here. He's a rookie, and he's involved in line play, and you're just not going to see anything resembling line play. You're not going to have, for example, remember that we're not permitted to discuss whatever practice stuff, whatever. Okay. But even in the event that you go up to Keanu Benton afterward in the locker room, okay, if you're me and you go up to him and you say, hey, Keanu, did you throw that, did you really blow Mason Cole off the football there? It didn't happen. They're out there in shorts.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing happening that's worth noting at that. Now, again, like I said on yesterday's show, if it's George Pickens making some spectacular catch, you go ask people about it and you've got it.
No doubt about it. And this is the other thing too, DK, and I'm just going to say this for you. The difference between what DK does and what we're doing is this. Again, and we've said it before, we're going to talk to you about what it actually is and what happened and what we think will happen because we've seen these things, right? DK's job's different than a guy who's a non-credential writer. Blogs can say whatever they want to because they're not held to the standard of the team. DK's job is he's got to be able to report with integrity, and teams tell you not to report in certain stuff, so DK doesn't report certain stuff, and no other credited reporter does either unless you're given that.
Yeah, and exactly. And to amend that a little bit here, so it doesn't sound like the team can tell us what to write.
That's you're not pro team on this.
This is how this works. This is a Pittsburgh Steelers deal. The Rooney family has always believed in access for reporters. Most NFL teams, this is a lot of Steelers fans don't know this. Most NFL teams don't let you watch practice at all if you're a reporter. Okay. You just don't get to see it. You know what they'll let you watch? I'm not making this up. Like in Baltimore, the stretching.
Yeah.
They'll let you watch a stretch.
And the playing around.
And the horsing around is beforehand. Yeah. As soon as anyone starts lining up in any kind of formations, they chase everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Rooney, and by that I'm referring to both the late Mr. Rooney and to the current Mr. Rooney, Art Rooney, don't believe in that. And they came to the Pittsburgh writers and they said, can we do this in a way that we have you there? Yeah. Okay. But we make an agreement that you're not to report on formations. You're not to report on plays. You're not to report on depth charts. Okay. Well, what's left? Not a lot. But if we see it, we can go ask about it and therefore do our job as journalists one way or another. If it's something significant, it's going to make its way out to the public. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. I got one pulled up right here, man, from an unk at the table, man. I thought it was a very fair question. You can confirm this too. Hey, Ed, so my guy Irving says, hey, Moan, Dan Moore said he got reps at right tackle. Do you think he has a chance to beat out Chooks? And I also saw somebody say this Chooks get a whole lot of unwarranted hate or something like that too. Very fair question. From my understanding, Dan Moore was actually put at right tackle for a little while. Mm-hmm. Just can't play it. Just can't play it. The guy has only played left tackle his entire life. And there is a such thing as my body don't work that way. Like I've always been from the time I went to college, I played right and left side. So the understanding of being able to transition over to one to the other has to be something that you're willing to do. If you only played that from the time you got to remember he's from Texas. They make guys who they are early. Hey, Dan Moore, sir, you are a left tackle. You're only playing left tackle. That's all he did in high school and college.
Yeah, Dan has an awareness that he's going to be asked to do both. He's going to be asked to back up at both. He's also aware, because he's a really, really smart young man, that the more he does that sort of thing, the greater his value, including as a potential backup, whether it's in Pittsburgh or somewhere else. So
yes,
Kevin Dotson has said the same thing. He understands if he's at left guard, he's got to be able to come in at right guard. Otherwise, guess what happens when the right guard goes down?
It's
somebody else.
Okay? Somebody else.
Yeah, it's not going to be that. Chandler Chase says, "Hey DK, what made you settle in Pittsburgh? This is where I came out of the womb, man."
Oh, okay.
I'm born and raised.
You know what, DK? I really did not know that. I never even thought to ask you that either.
My parents, my father was an ambassador to the former Yugoslavia. He was working in downtown Pittsburgh, and I was born literally in downtown Pittsburgh. So
nice, man.
Yeah, but the question, especially when you see my name, isn't exactly second generation looking.
Oh, no doubt. I got to put this up there, too, because this somebody that's actually done it from Albie Quirky. He says, I hated going to left tackle to the right side. Didn't work. Didn't work going to guard either.
Why is that, though, Mo? It isn't like batting left-handed, is it?
It is. Okay. It is like batting left-handed.
Meaning if you're right-handed, yeah.
And this is the thing, too. You got to be willing, and also not you got to be willing to deal with the frustration, too. Because your muscles are stronger on one side because you use them differently on that side. Like, I'm way comfortable on the left side, but I can easily play right because that's my dominant side. Like, it really does matter, man, playing sides like that. That's why I think you see some cornerbacks don't flop sides and stuff like that. It's because they're probably more comfortable being a right-sided cornerback, and coaches realize that and build around that type of stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Rodney Hill, for becoming a member. I think we got 5 of those in today. Matt Hyde says, hey, Moan, do you think the Steelers will make another splash signing?
The way Omar is making it seem, whoever's hot is who he's going to go get. At this point, Matt, it wouldn't shock me if they did go get somebody. We're expecting like a big name, big contract. I doubt it. But if there's a body or name on it like Marcus Golden, you're probably going to get a guy and see how much tread is left on the tire. That's where that's the only signings right now.
Good stuff from Chris Davis. Hey, Moan, are we in a good position to defend Nick Chubb and company? I don't know that Chubb needs company.
He don't need no company. He do real good by himself. The way you are beefing up and trying to surround this defense with veteran guys that understand their roles, like Landon Roberts. I can't mention him enough, DK, right now, because he's such a hard-hitting, savvy type of guy. I do like you, Landon, because I remember playing against him and just like thought he was smart. Thought he was crafty. I think he knows his deficiencies as far as his play goes, and he don't go outside of his box. He does stuff well, and he fits the physicality that we have in Pittsburgh too. He played for the Patriots, then went to Miami, if I'm not mistaken. Also, he gets ball, is what I would say about Landon Roberts. He's multifaceted.
Mike says, hey, Moan, Omar's really come in like a big game hunter.
Yeah, he has. But I don't think this team is facing any pressure. I just think the need to not get caught behind everybody else is what's necessary. You don't want to get left behind. Like think about the young teams in this league that you even got to see. Okay? You got to see Cincy, Cleveland, and Baltimore. Strong. Don't be the last one in that race. You got a team like Jacksonville that's got a franchise quarterback now in the AFC. You got Aaron Rodgers in the AFC East also. Like, that's just of newness. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's fair to actually be this aggressive as long as they fit inside the identity of what that locker room suggests.
We're going to take a couple more today. Ben says, hey, Moan and DK, what do you think the odds are that Darnell Washington's first official reception is a shovel pass?
Oh.
There's a couple different ways I can answer this. One is that if it is, do you want to tackle him?
No.
Okay. Second, yes, everyone takes part in these things. Okay. Everyone takes part in shuttle passes. They are high percentage plays. They're low turnover risk plays. And I understand that everyone wants to see the Steelers offense instantly become the Joe Montana 49ers.
Yeah.
Just maximize all this efficiency and everything's going downfield. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen for Darnell overnight.
No doubt about it, man. I brought this up too. I think that's the best answer possible. From my guy Antoine says this, what? Omar been waiting his entire life for this. I get it. I ain't gonna say entire life, but he has been in prep mode to be a GM and watch other teams do it. You got to remember, he interviewed for the Saints job. I think he interviewed for the Seattle job and had other conversations in other places. I will agree with that. You do it your way now.
Mike says only 22 linebackers were ranked ahead of Alex Highsmith in the NFL last year. And I don't know if you're just counting outside linebackers or you're counting all of them together, but I got to tell you, Mike, you're kind of making my point for me.
As far as pay, what do you do with them? Yeah.
Well, no, I don't know if he's talking about pay or if he's talking about performance.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Maybe he can come back and clarify that. But if it's performance, that's kind of my point. Is he's a very good player.
Well, this is also the thing,
There's
too,
no
when it comes
shame
up
in
to
being a very good NFL player.
It's not.
No.
Absolutely not. It's not, DK. I can't emphasize that enough. This is the thing. When it comes down to if Alex Highsmith gets signed, watch, as soon as we get off this broadcast, he might end up getting a freaking extension, right? But this is the thing. He has the choice to turn it down and hit the free agency market. So if the deal ain't right for him and he think, look, no, I'm a $18 to $24 million a year dude, that option is there too. But the market is what the market says when it comes down to guys being re-signed.
Randy's risking getting kicked off the show forever with a question like this. He says, hey, Moan, why do they call a tackle a tackle? If an offensive tackle tackled a player, they'd get flagged. Telling you, Randy, you got to watch it, man. This will get you booted right on out of here.
Randy, Uncle Randy, what's in that red Solo cup of yours, man? Because that's the only way you're asking questions like that. Come on, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mike does clarify that he was referring to Highsmith's performance. He's very good. Okay, but if there are 22 linebackers ahead of him, he's not up there. So if the Steelers can find a way to secure him, to make sure that he's not leaving anywhere, X amount of guaranteed dollars within the contract, he's here and the dollars are right, go right ahead and sign him.
No doubt about it. I'm here for this. I got one. I know you said we had a couple left, but it's this one right here I just saw.
It's your show.
From Ash. I know, but I like to be conscious of the crowd too. My only complaint about Khan is that he called the draftees first instead of Coach T. I really enjoy the Coach T calls. That's fair. But nobody has any ego inside of that building as far as I know. And I think that kind of shows it a little bit. Omar being an intro to it being his first draft, DK.
Yes.
Maybe that was the reason why, or maybe it's, look, Coach Tomlin's a better closer. You get on the phone with the GM, then Coach T comes on, it's just like, ho. Like, players get excited for that type of stuff. And I know that's like cheesy stuff.
They don't hear a word.
They
don't hear one word that's being spoken to them. First of all, their family's all screaming around them. Okay. And second, they're thinking 5 billion thoughts. Do you think they're going, I wonder what Omar meant by that? They don't even know who they're talking to. They heard the words Pittsburgh and Steelers, and that was it.
Yeah. We're gonna put Randy over at the uncle table for a little bit too. By the way.
That was uncalled for.
He getting a whole lot of laughs out here, DK. Like, we were really at family prayer before meal, and he just decided to drop that little joke. It was a good one, though.
Yeah, I mean, he pulled it off. It felt unacceptable in the moment.
He wasn't in the red Solo cup, DK. He had one of those funny cigarettes over there with a question.
I'll tell you what, I like somebody going to bat for Highsmith on this show. I think that feels fair. Michael Martin comes in and says, I know Alex knows some other team is going to come in and give a bigger bag, just not sure they're going to give him a better chance to collect all of it. That's a great way of looking at it. Frostbite also comes to bat for him, says, honestly, TJ being hurt and Malik Reed not playing to par made it hard for Highsmith. I do believe that Highsmith needs to show out this year and show he's worth the money. So you're taking Ramon's side on this, that you would hold off. We got one more good one here. And this is
I just saw that one too.
There it is. Go for it.
Yeah, from my friend Dilly from the uncle table over there. Okay, he goes, "Hey Moan, what's your opinion on the new kickoff rule?" I have two takes on this one. One, we may be a step closer from them eliminating kickoffs. Other portion of this, before they do it, I think what you're going to happen is this. I think there's going to be a bigger emphasis on pooch kicks. Because if a kicker can kick the ball super high in the air and have a team fair catch, and it got to go back to the 25,
zero return,
or get real ballsy and decide you're going to start kicking or start running them back more. One or two things is going to happen. It's about to get real crafty out. Because if I pooch kick you to the 35, DK, you going to fair catch that or get blasted? Make a decision.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear that all 32 special teams coaches voted against it?
Because they know how their job is to find hitting yardage.
Yeah.
You know what, Denny? Coach Denny Smith?
They're taking that part of the game away completely.
And so, again, you either eliminating the kickoff at some point because of concussions is the way they're boxing this in, or you get real crafty on how you're going to do kickoffs. If it was me, I'm pooch kicking everything and then daring you to actually run it back at the 40.
You know why they don't eliminate the kickoff?
Why?
I mean, this is going to sound really
I'd love
basic.
to hear this.
No, I think it's really simple. And our international people who watch this show can probably answer me right away. It's because the more of this that you do, you're taking the foot out of football. And there's already people everywhere that go, why do they even call it football? What are they using their feet for?
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to go global with it and everything else. And why do you call soccer football? It's soccer,
Yeah.
This is for nothing other than they're trying to kind of save the word foot in football, other than field goals and punts.
Yeah, I don't
Game
know.
Starts with a kick. It's kickoff. Football season. Football season has kicked off. It's part of Americana.
Yeah.
It's part of our language. It's who we are. Picture going to an NFL game and not having it start with a ball being kicked into the air.
Yeah. That one didn't register to me, but if that's the case, then geez, that is a swing and a miss for me, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Swing and a miss for me on that one.
Wow. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. We're gonna have, by the way, just a programming note. We're not gonna have a show Friday, because I'll be traveling to Seattle and Memorial Day weekend, and then Monday because of Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend.
So we do have a show tomorrow.
And this is what I appreciate about Uncle Randy too, DK. He said he wasn't feeling too well before the show, but he's feeling much better right now. Okay, that's why you was able to get that joke across, and everybody loved you, Uncle Randy. That's all. That's all.
It was still so bad.
Yeah, it was bad, man. But hey, if he's feeling better because of us, then I'm here for it, DK.
Good stuff from everybody. All right, let's do it again tomorrow, guys.
Well, let's do it, DK. We appreciate y'all checking us out, man.
What's that for? Oh, is that our bet?
$1. Just a single $1, and I bet they're gonna get some emojis. That's all. Emojis. That's all. Just a cool little 99 cents, DK, to get away from that Uncle table.
Somebody asked where the shop was. They haven't been down here yet. You
tell them the address again, man.
You can get a tattoo. Look at this.
Is that do you have a stamp for shirts and papers?
No, it's for the bags.
Oh man, I was about to say, what you got going on here, DK?
But if I was feeling in a really weird mood like Randy was today, I could just stamp my forehead.
And then on top of that, you get to see me with double glasses on too. This is weird right here. I usually have them stacked.
One more show tomorrow before we have a 4-day break from the show. So we'll make it a good one, everybody.
Get your barbecue meats together, baby. Let's cook out.